So I came this close to wearing my Everton kit before I hit record on this episode, and then I realized probably would be a bad idea because we played the Toffees today. Didn't want to send any mixed signals, didn't want the fan base to think that my dedication was not to Fulham Football Club and that I was looking to move elsewhere. Whew, potential crisis averted. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode number 66 of Bottom to the Top. I'm Mr. Cellophane. I hope you are having a fantastic day. Pretty good start to the season for us here at Fulham Football Club. We currently find ourselves in 10th place on the table after 4 league matches. We do have a game in hand over basically everyone. In fact, this match against Everton is their game in hand as well. With a victory, Everton sitting in 18th place. We're not going to talk about them being in the relegation zone. Hopefully it does bode well for us, even though, in my heart, I do not want to see the Toffees in the championship. But it is what it is. They still have plenty of time to claw their way back up the league table. A win for us today, though, and we can climb as high as 3rd place, a spot currently being occupied by Manchester United, a team that we take on in the second match of this episode. Which is probably going to be a tough task because I think Man U is going to enjoy the new manager bounce as Jacob Niestrup leaves PSV to take over at Manchester United. Wanted to do a little digging and I found it very interesting. But in our 8 seasons of this Journeyman save, since Manchester United has parted company with Erik ten Hag a lot earlier than they did apparently in real life, as he was fired right before Christmas 2023. They're on their 4th permanent manager in that time span. Now, we're on a journey with our guy, and we're only on our 3rd job. So I think that that says a lot about Manchester United. I feel like I do dump on Man U a lot, but you know what? It's kind of fun. How have we done since our last episode? Well, only 2 league matches. That's because we've been busy with the Carabao Cup. We'll get involved with that in just a little bit. First one after the last episode was a road match at St. James's Park. We dropped a decision 2-1 to Newcastle. It looked like we were going to hang on for a draw on the road. Melvin Costa picking up his first goal of the year in the striker position. But Cas van der Hayden scored with 1 minute left in regulation time to put Newcastle up ahead. We just could not claw our way back. Not enough extra time to get the job done. And like I said, we'll get to the Carabao Cup in just a second. Our next league match, we were at home. We took on Spurs. Did make a change of shape. Decided that Melvin Costa was just way too valuable on the outside to keep trying to shoehorn him into a position that, frankly, we had quite a bit of coverage in. I mean, Guerrero can play there. Burford can play there. We still have good Janssen hanging around. Amaya we had signed in the transfer window, and we will get to the transfer window in just a moment as well. So we decided to switch to a 4-2-3-1 to take advantage of Melvin Costa, and boy did it work. Gabriel Amaya with a pair of goals in the first 35 minutes to put Fulham ahead 3-0. Tom Burford also added one as well from the left wing position. Dejan Kulusevski did get one back for the Spurs, but overall a pretty solid performance. 22 shots on goal, 50% possession. I think it worked pretty well. We were very solid defensively as well. Now, those 2 games sandwiched our first appearance in the Carabao Cup in round number 2. We traveled to Walsall. We went ahead 2-0 pretty quickly before Baba Idiku added one for Walsall to get them closer. Gabriel Amaya scoring as well to put us up 3-1 before Evan Evans, what a name, added a second tally for the home side. We were able to hang on to a victory here. Now, this was the match where we introduced the 4-2-3-1 that we took into the Spurs matchup. It was fairly successful again off of the jump with Burford playing in the middle, scoring 3 minutes in and then adding another one at the 37th minute. Unfortunately, Andre Lucas Gudjansson started both in those matches, both in matches in the Cup, and we'll get to the second one because obviously we did make it through until the third round. But we did have to pull Gudjansson early from both matches, just not really cutting the mustard in the new system and with the new teammates around him. Before we get to the third round matchup in the Carabao Cup, because I don't want to talk about a player I haven't yet talked about, taking a look at our transfer activity now that the transfer window is closed. We ended up breaking even. We brought in £145 million worth of players, sent out £145 million. A couple of additional moves that were made late on. Daniel Juarez was loaned out to Gil Vicente. A couple of other young players making moves out on loan just to get themselves a little bit more playing time. We did bring in one player, however, well, we brought in 3 players since the last episode, but 2 of them are youngsters, are going to be playing for our U19s. We brought in one player, though, who is going to be with the first team, and that is 18-year-old Japanese international Toshimitsu Endo. We brought him in from Valencia in Spain. He had a release clause of £26 million. We had about $55 million to spend, and I mean, he is fast. He's pretty good with the ball. The only thing that we kind of have to figure out if it's going to work for us is he's 5'3" and 136 pounds. So not the strongest player and definitely not the tallest, but hopefully he'll be able to deliver those balls in to the back post rather than being the guy running to the back post. But he's pretty good. We basically didn't have anybody who could play left wing naturally. Obviously Tom Burford potentially could play out there. Zidkika Chandler can play out there. Harvey Vale could move up from the left back position to play out there. But no guys that I really wanted to trust day in and day out in the position. Hopefully, Toshimitsu Endo could be that guy. And he was that guy as we took on Birmingham in round 3 of the Carabao Cup. Now, Birmingham did take a pretty early lead, a beautiful delivery into the middle to Heskey to make it 1-0 in the 35th minute. It took us a while to score. In fact, less than 10 minutes left, but Glenn Allen along the side sends it to Enzo, turns back inside past Trot to tie things up at 1, and then in added time, Guest sent it forward, Guerrero into the middle, Amaya heads it past Trot to put Fulham up 2-1, and that is where it is going to end. Now, we were drawn in the 4th round in a match that we are going to be bringing you in the next episode. And that is because we are going to be taking on Arsenal. It's a rematch of last year's FA Cup semi-final matchup that we came this close as a championship side to winning and making it into the FA Cup final. We fell a little short at Wembley. This match is going to be at Craven Cottage. Hopefully we can get some revenge. We're also going to bring you the match against Wolves, because Wolves are currently having a pretty good season. They right now are sitting in 2nd place in the Premier League. 3 wins, 2 draws after 5 matches. So it should be an exciting episode next time. But this time we still have 2 matches to bring you, so let's get to it. Of course, we did spend the money on him, but we do want to get Guerrero to learn his new position, get some minutes in there on the left-hand side. So it's going to be Javlina in goal with Vale, Akahoman, Williams, and Denisov. We did have to promise Reece Williams we would play him a bit more. He has been playing the last couple of matches, and he has actually done pretty well considering, obviously, the Newcastle match. Nobody really played well. Okay, maybe not the greatest ratings as a center defenseman, but he hasn't really been exposed either. So those are the guys that we're going to be starting with. It's going to be a pretty young midfield with Daria Conde and Craig Ross there, with Burford in an attacking position, Guerrero on the left wing, Melvin Costa on the right, and Amaya with 4 goals to lead the team in 5 appearances. Now, 3 of them did come off of the bench. He has been a super sub for us. Let's see if he can get it done as a starter, shall we? Still early doors in the season, so even though Everton finds themselves in 18th place, they are only 4 points behind us. This is match week 5 for both teams. Now, this is our first time back at Bramley Moor Dock since our last season in the Premier League where we lost 4-1. And I think that was the pivotal game that kind of set us teetering onto the edge and really dropping off into 19th place as our finish. Dwight McNeil is in. He's going to be Javlina's first goal of the season. And we kind of just let him in there. So the defense letting us down right now. So we find ourselves down 1-0 pretty early here. And I was talking about Williams and the performances that he has put in and that he needs to put in. He kind of got caught a little bit out of position. I'm not sure what was going on with Daniil Denisov either. So hopefully we can pull back into this one pretty quickly as Costa takes the throw and carrying it deep, finds Ross, is ridden off of the ball. Denisov will get there in front of Amadou Onana. Playing it up the left side. He's got Vale with some space ahead of him, chipping it back, post looking for Costa. Amaya's going to get his head on it, though. His 5th goal of the year as David Raya came out to grab it, made a hasty decision, ended up out of position. The goal scored by Amaya to bring us level at 26 minutes into this match. Yeah, Raya went out for it. Amaya just went up and poked it past him. Beautiful header by Amaya. He has turned out to be quite the player so far for us. We've got a very young squad, I've realized. I think Harvey Vale is one of the older players on the pitch right now. I think he's 26, maybe 27 years old at this point. Gudjonsson not even in the matchday squad. Corner kick, McNeil looking back post. Amaya's going to head that away from Brian Brobby, and Costa is going to track it down. Costa turning out to be a bargain that we picked up from newly relegated Aston Villa. Amaya leaving it for Guerrero, swept away by Onana, and Fernandez will take over for the Toffees. 1-1 is your score, 33-33 into this match. Nice switch of play over to Dwight McNeil. He's got it along the near sideline. Costa's going to challenge him. In fact, pass it away to Burford, who finds Costa again. Nice unconventional 1-2. Burford back for Costa. In, shooting, scoring. Melvin Costa with his 2nd goal of the season. And Fulham, with 2 goals unanswered, take the 2-1 lead. I mean, this was all Burford and Costa. Just playing catch back and forth. Costa carrying it deep. Gets a lane on Jared Branthwaite, who probably should have been playing a little bit deeper. David Raya didn't really make much of an effort on that one. And now, just a couple of minutes later, we are on the attack again. Harvey Vale to throw it in. He's got Amaya on the edge of the box. Back for Craig Ross, who will circle around. Aka Homan. Guerrero, and there's the 4th for Federico Guerrero, blasting one in from about 10 yards out. David Raya doesn't know what's happening to him. Everton with a massive mountain to climb at home. It's 3-1 Fulham, and our new shape is paying off dividends. Guerrero doing a fantastic job, learning a new position, finds himself, as an inverted winger. That's the role we've got him playing on. Does find himself in a familiar position on the pitch, ultimately, when he took that shot as a former shadow striker there on that left center midfield position. Costa trying to pick out the top corner, just wide. It was a beautiful pass inside as Costa was charging forward. 45 minutes in the books, 9 shots to 3 for Fulham. 3-1 on the scoreboard. We're dominating possession as well, and we are making Everton look bad at home, and we're making them look like the relegation candidates that they currently are. It has been pretty much domination ever since Dwight McNeil scored that goal. We kind of have really clamped down, been playing solid defensively, and of course the offense massively coming through. Amaya heading it forward, but nobody is there for Fulham. Nathan Patterson has his pocket picked by Guerrero, but Brobby is going to return the favor. Fernandez, he'll lose it to Guerrero. Nice back checking there. I know it's a hockey term, but I like using it in football as well. Played to Melvin Costa. He's a bit more central than usual. Denisov will lose it. Jurashek to try to get the ball out of the back for Everton. Playing it to Onana for Gomez. Having a little bit of trouble. His pass, though, didn't have the pace on it he needed. Amaya with the shot. Raya is going to make the save on that one. Tip it behind for a Fulham corner. 55 minutes have been played in this match. 3-1 is your score. We are probably going to make some changes. Guerrero is getting a little tired, so is Burford. I mean, we really do utilize our attacking forwards quite a bit. We have them do a lot of running around, a lot of pressing. Not really a gegenpress system, but it is still pretty high intensity. So with about 20 minutes left, we're going to make some changes after this free kick attempt by Fernandez from a dangerous position. Hits the crossbar. Vale is going to knock that out behind. And I think now is a good time. Endo's going to come in for Guerrero, who did score a goal. He has had quite the nice game. Daria Conde, not playing great right now. Antonio Blanco is going to take his place. And frankly, Daniil Denisov, not sure what is happening with you, son. Alex Guest is going to take his spot on the field. We did recall Neil Coulter from loan. We needed a bit more depth because it was really only Denisov and Guest who were capable of playing that right back position. So just to shore things up, Neil Coulter did come back from Oxford United on that loan spell. He played pretty well there. Hopefully he can do a job for us as well. We did play him in our last cup match. Less than 20 minutes remaining in this match. We are still dominating possession. We're still dominating the shots. And we are ultimately dominating the scoreboard. Hoping to hang on to this 3-1 score unless, of course, we can add on to it. Still, I know I've said this before, it's hard for me to put myself in the position where I'm rooting for the team that is playing Everton because of where my natural loyalties lie. I do not want Everton to get relegated in game. I am, however, glad they lost this match because it means Fulham is victorious. 3-1 is the final score. Tom Burford named player of the match. The win makes it 4 in a row in all competitions, 2 in the league, hoping to continue that against Manchester United. We actually have leapfrogged them, so just like I said before, a win against Everton could take us as high as 3rd. That's where we are currently sitting 3rd in the table in a Champions League spot. A ton of football remaining to play, still 33 games in the season. We are not going to get carried away, but a win against Manchester United, currently sitting 4th, could not only go a long way to ensuring that we aren't anywhere close to a relegation battle for this season. We're already 7 points north of the drop zone this early on in the year, but it could potentially put us back at the top of the table. Yeah, we were there for a split second, but it was nice to be there. Anyway, we've kind of been yo-yoing because, other teams are playing, whereas we haven't yet. So with the whole game in hand situation, but so far, so good. But Man United is going to be a massive test. Luckily, this time, it's going to be at home. Couple of changes on tap for this number 3 versus number 4 matchup here in the Premier League in match week number 6 as we take on Manchester United. Savlina is going to be in goal once again. It is going to be a back four of Glenn Allen, Marvin Akahoman. Matty Pollock is going to slot in place of Reece Williams. Daniil Denisov, even though we had a rough match, is going to be back in as our right back. Craig Ross is going to remain in the game. He's going to slot over and take the place of Daria Conde, who is going to get a rest. He'll be on the bench as Antonio Blanco comes back into the side. And we have shuffled the deck up front. Tom Burford is now going to be on the left wing. We're bringing in Marco Morales to get the start in the central attacking midfield position. Melvin Costa is going to stay on the right side. And the striker today is going to be Federico Guerrero. We are putting our man, Gabriel Amaya, back on the bench. He did score as a starter in the last match. He has been fantastic for us, but he has also been playing a ton of football. And really, he's been an amazing super sub. Hopefully he can do that again. One of the things that we are doing with this tactic is trying to get a little bit more direct, as that will make both the board and the supporters happy. It really is like the one gameplay style aspect that they have asked us to play that we have not played. So hopefully we are going to kind of add on to that, make them even happier with us than before. We went from like a B- to the board to an A+ just because we won against Spurs and Everton. Can we make it 3 in a row in the league? We're taking on Manchester United. We are at home at Craven Cottage, and hopefully we can dominate this game like we did the last. So, of course, First highlight 5 minutes in, and it's Manchester United with the ball. Diogo Dalot carrying it up the right wing side. Vale is on him, finds Endrick, blocked up by Allen. Burford is going to send it long. Mastoris will settle it down, and back to Crockett in his own end. Dahl, across for Javi Guerra, finds Veriga with some room on that left wing side. Veriga trying to make a move. Rashford in for Højlund, and Rasmus Højlund with his first goal of the season. Højlund scored against us in the Cup match last year when we were in the championship, and he scores against us again in the Premier League. Veriga throwing it across. Pollock made a pretty good defensive play, denying Rashford from getting the ball, but Rasmus Højlund was Johnny on the spot. He beats Hamlina for the 1-0 tally. 10 minutes into this match, things are not looking great for Fulham, but they didn't look really good against Birmingham. They didn't look really good against Everton. We are a team that wears down the opposition. So as long as we can shift the momentum into our favor, as it appears we have in the last 15 minutes or so of this first half, I think we are going to be A-OK. Right now, even if we don't win, we're currently sitting in 4th place. Top amongst the 4 teams currently on 10 points. Chelsea, Southampton, and Brighton are in that group. We're ahead of Man City. Man City not even in a European place right now. 4-4 the shots at the half. Rasmus Højlund's 6th minute goal is the difference right now as Man U leads at halftime 1-0. Let's give the revenge team talk. I love the revenge team talk. Glenn Allen is a little bit frustrated, although we have worked on that. So is Marco Morales, to be perfectly fair. We may need to make some changes fairly early on. Maybe move some guys into slightly more familiar positions. But a final third throw in for Denisov, hopefully to get things started. Looking for Morales. Can't get it past Mastoris. Back for Morales, though. He's going to shoot. Can't tuck it in to that corner. He did have Onana beat, but his shot just goes a little bit wide. Right now, our attacking players are really not making the grade, so we are going to demand more from our team. Endrick sending it in, looking far post, can't pick out his man. Aka Homan can't get it deep. Rashford, I think he was offside anyway, but he pulled his shot attempt rather wide. Burford is tired. Guerrero is tired. None of these guys are really having fantastic matches. Tom Burford especially. You know what? We left our new boy off of the bench. Really should have taken a closer look at that. So Zidkika Chandler is going to come in as our right wing. Marco Morales is going to make way. We're going to drop back Federico Guerrero and bring in Gabriel Amaya. Gudjonsson is going to remain on the bench, frankly, because he has just not played very well for us at all. Hopefully we can get Guerrero going. Picking up an injury. Hopefully it's not a bad one. Oh, it's a potential knee injury. Jacopo Fazzini. The change I did not want to have to make. Oi. We may need to change our shape because Melvin Costa is not having a great game either. He can't really play in any other position, and we don't really have anybody else who is well suited on that right side. Onana to send it long. It's still 1-0 Man U. Mason Mount trying to sweep it away, but Costa getting it off of the feet of Marcus Rashford, feeding it for Denisov, looking for Costa. Mason Mount there, though, is there to intercept, and Man U looking to move it forward once again. Mount to the near side. Ruggeri doesn't have anyone on him just yet. Javi Guerra, Rashford laying it back for Mount. He's going to get there first. Ahead for Soraka. Soraka is in. He'll shoot, and he will blast it over. So no harm, no foul. 72 minutes have been played in this match, and we may need to go to our narrower system, and I think we are going to make that change. So we're going to cancel out of that, come here, make sure we're paused. Chandler is slightly injured. He's picked up a knock, so we're going to come here. Costa will come out. Fazzini will move up. We're going to get Blanco in there. Daria Conde will come in to replace Costa. Zidkika Chandler Oy, Harvey Vale is really our only shot unless... See if Good Janssen can play as a shadow striker. Those will be all of the changes we can make as we bring Chandler on. He didn't get to play a whole ton. We're also going to move to a more attacking mentality as Denisov looks to throw it in, trying to pick out Amaya, headed back down to Denisov. He's got Craig Ross dropping it for Akande, looking to get clear, but Acosta will knock that away. Not great play by Daria Akande right there as Man U looks to bring it back up on the counterattack, a very slow counterattack. Bad pass, though. Turned over. Fulham with it. Fazzini for Pollock. Ahead for Craig Ross. He's got Good Janssen. Touch pass wide for Allen. Flipped forward. Amaya is there. He shoots. And Gabriel Amaya coming in off the bench to put home his 6th of the year. Onana just didn't know what to do with himself. I got to see this replay just to watch Onana. Nice pass by Good Janssen. Allen throwing it forward. Onana just assumed his defense was going to do their jobs, and they failed. And he just was kind of left there out on an island, out of position. Amaya with his 6th goal of the year. And I'm not saying that we are abandoning the 4-2-3-1, the wider tactic. I think this more narrow system suits us better at home. We got 9 minutes added on, and they will fall by the wayside. So it's not a win, but I will take the draw. We were down 1-0 at halftime. It took 84 minutes for us to score, but super sub Gabriel Amaya comes through again. And not the news we were hoping for. It's a sprained knee ligaments for Federico Guerrero. Our 20-year-old wonder kid is going to be out for 5 to 6 weeks. It's okay, though. So we're heading into late September after the next couple of matches as we take a quick look at the schedule. We really only have the Chelsea match, a couple of friendlies that we added in because almost a full month off between Chelsea and Manchester City in our next 2 league games. So Guerrero, he ain't going to miss a whole lot of time. He'll have plenty of time to rest up, and we have plenty of backup on the attack. I think we are going to be okay. And what a place to be after our 2nd episode back in the Premier League. 3rd on the table behind Arsenal and Wolves. Wolves ahead of us on goal difference. Those are the 2 teams we're going to be taking on in our next episode. It's going to be Arsenal in the 4th round of the Carabao Cup, looking for some revenge on last year's FA Cup semifinal. I know I mentioned that earlier in the episode, but that was like 20 minutes ago. And Wolves currently sitting in 2nd place. We could go top of the table by the time our next episode is up. I mean, we've got a couple of matches. We've got Chelsea away, Man City, West Ham, both at home. Man City in 10th place. Wow. Laissez le bon temps rouler. Let's keep the good times rolling. I hope to see you tomorrow. Thank you very much for all of your support. Make sure you hit the like on the video. I really should give this pitch earlier on. Also, drop a comment about what you think about the new system, how you think it's working, what we maybe could do differently, who you would play in the various positions. Who should we train as a left wing? Guerrero? Burford? Just leave Ziggy Chandler out there. Endo, of course, if we remember to put him on the bench. Love to hear from you, and make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications. I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, bye-bye.